Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast all about the Office Bears Beets Podcasts.
Hi.
Today we'll be discussing Episode 4, The Alliance, Episode 5, Basketball, and Episode 6, Hot Girl. So let's just get to talking about Episode 4, The Alliance. So, with rumors of downsizing around the office, a nervous Dwight approaches Jim about forming an alliance to protect their jobs. So, that's...
Let's get started.
Yeah, that's just the summary of the episode, and yeah, so let's talk about it.
Let's get started.
I got it. Okay, so basically what happens in the episode is Dwight, he gets very nervous about possible downsizing. And so he asks Michael, if this is going to happen. He asks Michael, if there will be downsizing. Michael can't really say. Michael kind of knows there will be downsizing.
He doesn't want to say, though.
Yeah, and he tries to avoid it. Yeah, and so Dwight, being super nervous, he tries to make an alliance with Jim, because he thinks that will make him he thinks it'll defend him from downsizing somehow. And Jim just is so happy. He says, absolutely I do.
Yeah.
He wants to, because he's so happy Dwight has just given him this opportunity to mess with Dwight.
Yeah.
And so Jim uses this opportunity to prank Dwight as much as he could. And so there's a lot of pranks that happen. And
they're all very funny.
Yeah, they are. So basically, one thing he does is he convinces Dwight to do a bunch of random things, like that he hides in a box. He hides in not one episode. Moment. He hides in a box in the warehouse because he wants to spy on other alliances meeting.
Yeah.
It's really funny. He kind of like jumbles around, and Pam is helping Jim with this. So she's like staging talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super funny. Yeah. So basically, a lot of things happen in this episode. There's a couple different plot points that go on. So Michael tries to kind of rally the office, I guess, try to make them get in a better mood, by getting some birthday parties.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the closest birthday Pam tells him is Meredith. Yeah. It's like 3 months away though, so
yeah,
it's kind of funny, and
doesn't really work.
Yeah, does not work very well at all.
No.
Yeah. Basically, Michael is trying to rally the people up, so he's gonna have a birthday party for Meredith, and he's trying to like do things nice for everyone. It's not really working out like for him though,
because everybody's worried.
Yeah. But Grant, I'm curious. What do you think? Do you think Michael should be doing this, or do you think he shouldn't?
What do you mean, this?
Do you think he should be trying to kind of distract them from what's happening in the downside?
In my opinion, no, because I feel like everybody I feel like will be able to see right through it.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to tell what Michael's trying to do. And I feel like that will only make them more worried that it's really bad.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I don't think that he should be trying to hide it. What do you think?
Well, I think what he's doing is right, but kind of the way he's doing it is wrong. First of all, Jan in the past couple of episodes have told him that this needs to be private. He shouldn't tell anyone. And he immediately told a bunch of people, so that's definitely his fault. So I think he needs a way to make up for it. But I think he shouldn't be doing it because this whole problem should have been avoided in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But instead he's planning this party. And so we get the introduction to the party planning committee. And they're just kind of debating on what they want for this party.
Yeah.
Michael comes in and tries to make it better, and he doesn't make it better.
Angela doesn't really like a lot of their ideas.
Yeah, Angela kind of rejects a lot of stuff. In the party planning committee, it's Angela, Pam, and Phyllis, by the way. Angela says like stuff like green is whorish, and yeah,
she's very strict on the rules.
And Pam's just trying to make it so they all get along, but then none of that happens. No. She doesn't succeed. Yeah, so basically, Michael suggests that they get a cake, which is something you don't have in a party, but Meredith is allergic to dairy, and so the party planning committee like, no, why would we get that?
The cake doesn't really work.
Yeah, and Michael's just like, no, you have to do this because it's a party.
It's her birthday.
Yeah, and this is revealed here that Michael is he's kind of like he doesn't really care about Meredith's birthday at all. He just more wants somebody to distract people from the downsizing, which is kind of what we were talking about a few minutes ago. So yeah, it's kind of unethical, I guess, what he's doing, because he's disguising a birthday celebration. He's disguising.
Trying to hide.
Yeah, he's trying to hide the fact it's outsizing, but everyone still sees the apparent problem.
Yeah.
And going back to this alliance thing between Dwight and Jim. Dwight's really just trying to defend him at his job. So, Grant, I have a question for you. Yes. Do you think what Jim is doing, obviously it's very funny, but do you think it's right?
Well, I mean, if what Jim is doing, if it increases the chances of Dwight getting fired, then not at all.
Yeah.
But if the chances of Dwight getting fired with like these pranks stays the same, then I'd say it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But it's like still not a very good thing to do with the pranks. But
yeah,
it's still funny.
Yeah, I think so. Like the reason Jim is messing with him like this is just because what he says is that Dwight's always annoys him every single day so much, and so he doesn't really do anything that's really harmful to Dwight. So I think it's justified. Because and so he tells Pam. And they just, they start laughing. They laugh a lot. So basically they plan. Dwight and Jim. I forgot his name. That was weird. They talk about what they're going to do to this alliance. And Jim basically says he's going to talk to Pam a lot. Yeah. He's gonna talk to Pam a lot, and so another small plot we have in this episode, it's related to Meredith's birthday party, and basically they're all starting to decide, sign a Meredith's birthday card, and a lot of people write heartfelt comments, some people write joking comments that are pretty funny, and Michael,
thinking he's funny.
Yeah, this tiny subplot has to decide what to write, and basically he goes through a bunch of ideas on what to do, and he says this thing where it's like, what am I supposed to say? Like, you're a great person, love Michael. Bleh. Like, why would he say that?
Of course.
So my question for you, Grant, is what do you think is going through your mind? What do you think is going through his mind when he's doing this? Like, do you think he actually believes that like everyone's gonna like clap for his comment, or like
for Michael?
Yeah, for Michael.
For like what he wrote?
Yeah, for what he's trying to write.
I'm not really sure. Like for the love Meredith, like I love you, such a great worker. Like what he was gonna say. I feel like people would really like that, and I'm not really sure what he is going to say.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, to me, obviously, the show's a comedy. But for I don't know if I'm the only one who does this, but like, whenever I'm watching, and like, so it's when they go to the talking heads, like, it's meant to be like where they're being asked questions by the documentary crew, right? And I don't know if I always think of the question that they're asking after when they say their answer, and a lot of the questions are weird, but basically, I don't. Yeah, basically, what I was gonna say is I'm probably like one of the only people that does this, but I don't know.
Okay.
But but I like think like what people are like thinking, and a lot of times it makes no sense because it's a comedy, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still kind of weird.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, and another very tiny subplot in this episode is Michael donating to Oscar's nephew's walkathon charity.
Yeah.
And he completely misunderstands what a walkathon is. And so he gives $25, I believe. If you don't know, a walkathon is basically however much you donate, it's that much times however many miles is walked or run or whatever.
Yeah.
So Michael donates $25, and Oscar is like, thank you so much, Michael. And later in the episode, Michael, after he realizes what a walkathon is, tries to give back. He tries to take back the donation. And Grant, I have a question. So, do you think that Oscar should have let him take back the donation?
I mean, that's a hard question. I'm not really sure if I can answer it because it's really hard to say because that would be so awkward if I was hosting like a fundraiser or something like that, and then somebody comes up to me who donated and was like, "Yeah, so I'm gonna need that money back."
Yeah,
that would be really awkward, and I wouldn't really know what to say. But because it makes it seem like even more awkward if you deny it and say like, "No, I can't." Like, if you have a reason for not giving it back, then I'd say I'd probably not give it back if I had a reason. Like if I already used that money.
Yeah, I mean like, so if you have a reason, it makes sense, like you said. But I think like either way, like so if someone offers you to donate to a charity, you kind of have to say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when it's personal to them. But then you realize, I think Oscar, obviously Michael misunderstood what this idea. I think Oscar should have let him take back at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of money, and we know from episodes and references that Michael is kind of broke.
Yeah.
So
Oscar's basically like taking a lot of money from him.
Yeah.
When he didn't even know what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, so back to the Michael signing the card thing. He asks Dwight for help on ideas for Meredith. And Dwight says that she had her uterus removed. So
yeah. He's gonna write something about that.
I hope he doesn't, but
all people who know Michael knows that he's gonna write something about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So back to the alliance thing with Jim and Dwight. Jim keeps pranking him. He's been saying a bunch of different things, making up things out of the air about like other alliances and stuff like that. And so they go down to the warehouse. Dwight gets a box. He gets in the box, and then Jim tapes the box close. There's a couple air holes.
Yeah.
Basically, essentially, so during the party, Dwight can listen to other alliances talk, and it's really funny because obviously there aren't any other alliances. Jim got Pam to go down there and like be on a phone call, and it's super funny.
Yeah.
Dwight kind of like squirts around a little bit trying to listen better, and Pam just cracks up so much and runs back up to the party. Yeah, so going on subject to the party, it's a surprise party. So they surprise Meredith, and they want to they gave her the cake, and
when is Meredith?
It's in like 3 months. Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Yeah, but the problem is, so Meredith is allergic to the cake, and then Michael, he offers her to try some, and then Meredith's like, no, I can't, I'm allergic. And then
I also like how Jim is like completely barricading, like he's
in the box.
He's making sure that Dwight cannot get out.
Yeah, in the box in the warehouse. Yeah. So Michael offers Meredith cake, And Meredith says, "No, I'm allergic." And Michael's like, "All right, that's too bad. It's too good." He said, he
like,
says,
"Oh, it's so good."
Yeah, and then Michael says, if I was allergic to dairy, I'd probably kill myself.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to talk in front of someone who's allergic to dairy. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, so Pam goes down to help Jim in the warehouse where Jim is has stored Dwight in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so Pam goes down there and pretends to make a fake phone call.
Yeah, she says, "Yeah, we were supposed to meet here." What? Oh my gosh. That ties in perfectly with something Michael was telling me earlier. I just don't know what some people are gonna do. Like, accounting are gonna. Sorry, I messed up. Whatever.
I like how Dwight is trying to get out of the box.
Yeah.
And then it falls over.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to drill holes into it.
Yeah.
To get out.
Yeah. It's really funny. Yeah. It's also really funny when Michael finds out about the walkathon. Jim's telling him, and Jim's like, "Yeah, I donated $5. Saw you donated $25, so that's a lot." And Michael's like, "Well, it's not that much." And then Jim's like, "Yeah, but I can't even calculate how much it'll be after he walks. It'll probably be around I don't know, $200 or $400."
Wait, so is that each mile that
so you don't
each person walks?
No, it's just the one person. So every mile Oscar's nephew walks is $25 more dollars from Michael.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, so
it's going to be a lot.
So if he walks 8 miles, he'll be donating for $200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Michael is basically broke.
And I'm pretty sure, Oscar says, I'm pretty sure Oscar says that his nephew last year walked 18 miles. So, I don't know, whatever.
Michael's scared.
18 times 25 is
a lot.
A lot, yeah. Yeah. So
18 times 20. Hold on. 18 times 25 is $450.
Yeah, so $450 is a lot of money for Michael. Definitely, it's a lot of money anyway. But for Michael, it's a super lot of money because he is broke. And
Dwight is trying to break out of the box.
Yeah, Dwight tries to break out of the box in all sorts of ways down in the warehouse.
And he punches his hand through the box.
Yeah, he has a knife too. And then Daryl just kind of watches him from the background.
You were in there?
Yeah, it's super funny. And now we get to one of the funniest moments in the episode, where Meredith reads her card which says "Happy Birthday."
Very funny.
Yeah. So, Meredith, good news. You're not actually a year older because you work here where time stands still. Stanley wrote that.
Very good.
Meredith, happy birthday. You're the best. Love, Pam. Yay. That was Pam, in case you didn't know. Michael goes,
like, bleh. Gross.
And then Michael says, "Meredith, let's hope there's only downsizing that happens to you is someone downsizes your age." Which, if he's trying to cover up this whole downsize,
it's not really good to write something about it.
Yeah.
Because, he's basically telling everybody, you're going to be downsized.
Yeah.
One of you, or all of you.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing. No one wants to be downsized.
Yeah,
no
so
one wants to be fired.
don't mention it at a birthday party.
Yeah, that's just terrible, Michael.
It's like if I went to a birthday party and was like, somebody's gonna...
Yeah.
Something's bad gonna happen. It's gonna be... something bad.
Yeah, and then Michael, when people don't laugh, Michael takes some others that he wrote down but didn't write down in the card. He makes jokes about her divorces, which she has 2 of, and her becoming old, and
not funny.
Yeah, not just offensive stuff. Yeah, so basically Michael just gets kind of mad, and then at the end of the episode, Jim tells Pam that Dwight, he convinced Dwight to dye his hair and go to the Stanford branch and spy on them, And then Roy comes in and kind of gets mad at because they're like
At Jim
close
for
to each
talking
other.
to
Yeah,
him.
they're like close to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then basically Jim gets scared and confesses this whole alliance thing to Roy, and Dwight hears this. And Roy asks Dwight, what is this true, Dwight? And he says, I have no idea what he's talking about, trying to cover up.
That's betrayal.
Yeah, but then at the very end of the
Michael's
episode,
like, what?
at the very end of the episode, Dwight has a talking head where we see that he's dyed his hair blonde after he sees that Jim made this whole thing up, and it's super funny. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for season 1, episode 4, The Alliance. Grant, what made you laugh the most in this episode?
It's hard to say. Probably where he dyed his hair blonde.
Yeah, that's super funny, but
He actually did it.
Yeah, for me,
Or
from
one more thing.
Yeah.
Also, or the box.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
When
box. Yeah,
I like it in the box when he's getting out.
yeah,
And he like punches through the box. Like he cuts like a little like hole. And
yeah,
then he just like punches his way out.
yeah, and then Daryl just stares at him from the background. Yeah,
How long have you been in there, man?
yeah, that's the most funny moment for me, at least.
Yeah,
Definitely.
me too.
All right, so that's it for season 1, episode 4. And it's called The Alliance.
I wonder why.
Yeah. All right. All right, so moving on to the next episode.
This episode is titled Basketball, and it's episode 5. And I'd say that this episode is one of the funniest episodes.
Yeah, it's so funny, like
Yeah.
insane funniness.
Yeah. So the caption for it is, after planning a basketball game between the office and the warehouse workers, Michael picks his dream team, led by the company's sole black employee.
Which is Stanley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah. So the episode starts with Michael, and everyone raising their sports bags.
Yeah.
Everyone is going to be on the team.
Some people.
And then he does this to Ryan, Jim, and he's gonna go into this office, and then Dwight's like, Michael, and he holds up his bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is pretty funny. And a question right off the bat is, do you think that Michael should let Dwight be on the basketball team? I know what I think, but you can answer first.
Well, I can't really remember a lot about this episode, but I think Dwight has some experience playing, so I'd say yes.
Yeah, later in the episode, he lets like Phyllis and people on, so I think he should definitely just let Dwight on, because he's letting everyone on.
And he has a bag.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, what's kind of funny is that sorry, I don't know what just happened there. But Ryan has a trash bag instead of a sports bag. 'Cause he doesn't own a sports bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Jim used like a duffel bag
Yeah.
that he stuffed a ton of things into. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But I like how Jim and Michael have sports bags.
Yeah.
I mean, no, sorry, not Jim, Dwight.
Yeah, well, Jim also has one.
Oh, I thought he had a duffel bag.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's similar to a sports bag. Yeah, I think he does have a duffel bag. Michael and Dwight have a talk where basically Michael says Dwight can't be on the team, and this is where we establish the one subplot of the episode where Dwight will be doing the holiday work calendar, or not weekend work calendar, where people come in on the weekends and do work, which is terrible.
Yeah.
No one should have to do that.
And Michael, I think, is doing this, so then when people have to come in on the weekend,
Yeah.
they'll blame Dwight.
Yeah, that's
And
why. He's
you already know that Dwight's very excited
Yeah.
to do this because Michael assigned it to him.
Yeah, so Dwight kind of starts putting Jim on a lot of the weekends. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jim goes, this is the smallest amount of power I've ever seen go to a person's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power has definitely gone to his head, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can make people, like, be like servants for him. And be like, do this or else I will put you down on the list.
Yeah, I think that would work for some people, though. That's the sad thing. Yeah.
I can see Jim being like, oh my gosh, like, I need to do this. I can't work on the weekends. And being, like, really sarcastic with him.
Yeah. So Michael kind of thinks that, like, so Michael chooses, like, for his base team, Ryan and Jim.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like stereotypical. They look like they would be good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And he chooses Stanley.
Yeah, because it's also very stereotypical and kind of racist.
It is.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But when
is.
Other people volunteer and say, "Oh, I have a basketball hoop in my front driveway. I have one on my door, and I play all the time."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, you guys aren't. You don't look like basketball players. You can't play."
Yeah, and one time it's kind of funny. They just show people working, and like Kevin, like he like chucks paper like all the way across the office, and it goes like
Phyllis.
Yeah, they
do
like,
all these amazing things, and then Stanley tries to make one, and he like completely misses.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So basically, I think Michael should have let a lot of people on the team that he didn't.
Yeah, because I feel like some of the people who were playing didn't want to play at all. I think Stanley is a great example of this.
Yeah, hold on, wait. Sorry, Grant, I'll cut this out, but you need to talk closer to the microphone. Sorry. Yeah.
But I think Stanley is a great example of this.
Okay, that might be a little too close.
I think Stanley is a great example of this because it seems that as Michael's choosing him for the team, it seems that he doesn't want to really play.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who are volunteering to play.
And then
he's just ignoring them.
Yeah. And so, Daryl tries to, quote, make this interesting, by saying, the loser will buy drinks, afterwards, loser of the game, because it's the upstairs office workers versus the warehouse workers. And then Michael says, no, let's make this more interesting. Losers have to come in and work on Friday, which to me doesn't make sense because it feels like
it was the week, like Saturday.
Yeah. Did I not say?
You said it's Friday.
Oh well, I meant Saturday. Which doesn't make sense to me because I feel like some office workers and some warehouse workers will have to come in.
Yeah.
So I don't think it can function just with the office workers or just with the warehouse workers.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make much sense to me. And so Michael recruits people like we've been talking about. He like makes a bunch of stereotypical comments, very rude stuff.
Yeah. Not nice.
Yeah. And he tries to recruit a cheerleader, and then he goes to Pam, makes some rude comments, and then Phyllis volunteers to be in, and he goes like, yuck, no.
Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, so he's really rude in this episode,
yeah,
really.
He's rude all the time.
Yeah.
I really think that.
Yeah, he is, but a lot of times it makes for funny, which it is funny.
He thinks it's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's awkward a lot.
Yeah.
Alright, so, moving on to the basketball game. Basically, yeah, so Michael goes down first and starts warming up, doing some, what he calls stretches.
We don't even know what to call those.
Yeah, it's like weird dancing, stretching, it's juggling. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He says Daryl's making a big mistake because he's eating before the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also you'll notice that Michael's trying to make dunks.
Yeah.
And he can't make any.
Mhm.
But that's on the lowest setting of the hoop.
Yeah, and then it goes all the way up, and he just kind of walks away.
Yeah, like, okay, well, this is rigged.
Yeah, so Jim talks about how he used to be really good at basketball in high school.
He's tall.
Yeah, he is tall. Yeah. So, Pam and Jim kind of have a debate, because Pam wants to go to the lake with Roy, her fiance.
Yeah.
On the weekend, and Jim wants to go to the mall on the weekend. So, and obviously the loser has to
come in on the weekend.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting, kind of funny, yeah. And basically, yeah. So they're kind of roasting each other back and forth. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all just joking.
So Grant, my question for you is, who do you want to win the basketball game?
So I feel like So I'd say I kind of want the warehouse workers to win because I feel like Michael would make like a huge deal out about it and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah!"
Yeah, it'll be super funny.
Yeah.
Either way, but
And then I feel like any other time that they're being like rude, he'd be like, "Well, remember that one time when I beat you in the basketball game?"
yeah, he'll use that as leverage like every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how Dwight is wearing like
yeah,
that
he's wearing
face
like a
mask.
face nose mask
Yeah.
thing.
But
It's pretty funny.
who do you want to win?
I kind of want the upstairs people to win. But like not Michael to win.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, but yeah.
I want Jim to win.
Yeah.
I want nobody to win but Jim. I want
Yeah.
Jim.
And so Michael says he's gonna get Roy, and he says, Dwight, you're gonna get the German girl. I'm pretty sure she's not German, but
And now, if you're also watching,
yeah. So Dwight takes off his shirt and says, "All right, we'll be skins." And then Michael's
Yeah.
like, "Oh God, no, Dwight."
please put your shirt back on.
Yeah.
And Dwight is wearing like an anime shirt. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pam does the tip off because she works upstairs, but she's also engaged to, like, yeah.
Yeah. And
Stanley,
doesn't know how to play at all.
Yeah.
And Michael's like, "Come on, what?"
you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Yeah, super funny. Accounting is keeping score. It's kind of funny because, like,
Yeah.
it's like Kevin, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Kevin should be playing.
He should, because he was one of the ones who said that he could play.
Yeah, Kevin should definitely be playing.
I also like how Michael has like the easiest shot ever to make, and he misses it.
Yeah, and then one time Dwight sinks a 3 next to Michael, and then Michael's like, "Hey, I was open."
Yeah.
Michael like chucks half quarters, and he's like, "What's wrong with me? I usually make those."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim makes a very good shot, and he's like, it seems like he's kind of showing off, but at
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
time,
So the warehouse people are getting kind of cocky, and like, and they're doing like secret handshakes, and Michael's like, "Da blah blah." That's not what he says, but he gets mad.
yeah.
And he's calling random fouls and stuff.
When somebody like bumps him a little, he's like, "That's a foul, man."
Yeah, and so
Like, you gotta be
Jim.
more careful.
Yeah, so his free throws are really funny.
His stretches.
Yeah, his free throws is he like chucks it over his head and it goes like way over
Yeah.
the hoop.
He'll like put the ball down and then like reach for his toes.
Yeah.
Or like he'll just put the ball down, like think for like a minute, and then just put it back up. And then
Yeah.
just put it back up. And
Yeah.
he'll throw the ball and it goes like completely over.
Yeah, it's super funny.
Yeah.
Super funny. Yeah, and so Jim gets a little mad, and so he kind of starts playing aggressively.
Jim or Michael?
Jim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Jim.
Yeah, so
He kind. I feel like he
on
was,
Roy he starts doing this.
Yeah. Only. On Roy.
Only on Roy. What do you think causes this? Like, do you think he's jealous? Or,
Pam.
Yeah, I
He's
think
jealous.
it's Pam.
I think
I
he's
think
jealous.
he's jealous as well.
And he's trying to show off in front of her.
Yeah, that's definitely what I think is happening as well. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so the warehouse people are getting cocky. They're
Doing
doing
like dances and stuff.
yeah, and Michael's not having any of it. He tries to do it with Ryan,
Yeah.
and Ryan's like, "Stay away from me."
Yeah, like
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to play.
Oscar's like on phone call reading newspaper.
Yeah. He doesn't care.
Angela's actually keeping track of score.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dwight's doing really good.
Yeah.
I like how he makes a shot and then he goes up to the girl on the warehouse team and he's like, "In your face."
Yeah. Super funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael chucks half quarters. He like knocks stuff down.
He like hits the ceiling.
Yeah. He pretends to be the Globetrotters. He like sits down and goes in circles. It's so funny.
And then Roy just walks up and takes it from him.
Yeah.
And then he makes a basket. And Michael's like trying to like show off.
Yeah.
And be like, oh yeah, I'm so good.
Yeah.
And he calls a timeout.
Yeah. So this is when Michael has been guarding Roy this whole time, and this is when Jim takes Roy and starts to get aggressive, as we said, we think.
Yeah.
Because he's jealous.
Yeah.
I definitely think he is jealous.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, so he starts like doing like hitting him, but it's not like hitting, it's like bumping.
Yeah.
It's not it's again,
until
it's legal, but
yeah. Until one point where it's just
one time.
like,
So Roy gives him a bloody nose, but like it's Jim's fine, but then Michael's like, no, that's not okay, and like yeah,
and then
Michael's
Jim
like,
of course has to hit him back.
yeah,
Make it
so
fair.
yeah, so Michael's getting like kind of mad at this point, and
Yeah.
eventually this old dude like bumps Michael the slightest bit.
Yeah, he like just pokes him.
Yeah, it's
the
not
arm.
even a foul. And then the old dude apologizes too. Michael makes a huge scene and then ends the game and says that the upstairs people win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're in the lead.
Yeah. And then all the warehouse workers like go in front of Michael. They're like way taller and they're like, we're not coming in on the weekends. And then
But we think you are.
yeah.
He's like, I guess you're right.
Yeah. And so then the upstairs people have to come in on the weekends.
Yeah. Phyllis joins in.
Yeah, Phil joins in and makes a 3. Michael
Michael is celebrating.
Yeah, Michael celebrates in some inappropriate ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the basketball game kind of concludes. And a lot of people are upset.
Yeah.
Because of Michael. If Michael wasn't there, the game would have been great.
A lot more fun.
Yeah. So another question: do you think some of what Michael was doing is justified?
What do you mean?
Like,
explain more.
calling these fouls and ending the game because it's getting too aggressive.
No.
Yeah,
He
I
should
don't
not.
think. Yeah.
He just because when they tell him that he's in the lead, I think that he was thinking we're not gonna win.
Yeah.
So we might as well just end it here.
Yeah, I definitely.
And then he's like making things up and being like, he's making things up and saying like, see, they were attacking me specifically, like they were going after me, which that's not true at all.
Yeah.
I can see it being true, but it's not true.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so the basketball game ends there, and pretty much people go back to the office, kind of talk about it, and
Michael makes a statement. You know what? Nobody is gonna.
Yeah, he says screw corporate. We're not coming in on the weekends.
Yeah, and Michael, over exaggerating, puts toilet paper in both of his nostrils.
Yeah,
even though basically nothing happened.
Yeah.
Something happened at Jim though. He got hit.
Yeah. Jim like actually got hit. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. I just see paper.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Jim actually took it like a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically what happens in this episode. So Grant, what made you laugh the most?
Probably, I'd say the scene where they're all like having the paper balls and they're throwing them across the room.
Yeah.
Or no, new thing. Where like all the way at the end where they're like Phyllis. What's his name? Kevin and someone else, I can't remember who, goes down to the warehouse and they start playing and they Kevin makes every single shot that he tries to make.
Yeah. At the end of the episode. It's pretty funny.
He makes every shot.
Yeah.
What was your favorite moment?
Mine is probably, I'm not sure, because there's so many great moments in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I'd say this is one of the best.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I'd say it's the best of the season.
Yeah, it's definitely the best of the first season. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for episode 2, titled episode 2 of this podcast.
But it's not over yet.
Yeah, episode 5, titled Basketball. Alright, so moving on to episode 6, titled Hot Girl. When an attractive woman shows up on the premises to sell handbags, Michael sees an opportunity for a red-hot office romance.
Yeah.
So basically the episode starts with Pam saying that there is a person wanting to sell handbags, and Michael says no, she may not come in. And then Michael sees her and is like, yes, you may come in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because Michael
doesn't see her. He has no idea who she is, and he's like, he doesn't want to. But then as soon as he sees her, oh yeah, she can come in.
Yeah, because Michael thinks that she is attractive.
Yeah.
So this episode is a big. It's important to a lot of things in the future of probably the next season about with the handbag salesperson, saleswoman, whatever you want to call the job. Katie, I believe that's her name.
Yeah.
Basically, because she. This isn't really a spoiler because it happens in this episode.
No.
Yeah. Basically, she gets together with Jim. And it happens in the episode. Yeah.
Jim, I think, was trying to find like another person.
Yeah.
Other than Pam.
Something interesting that happens is Pam kind of gets jealous, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, because she's engaged, obviously.
With Roy.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, do you think Pam should be jealous?
Well, I can see why she's jealous, but it would be very confusing for Jim if he said, you shouldn't be with her, and then Jim was like, well, why do you care? Like, you're with Roy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think she should be jealous, because she's with Roy, and if she doesn't want to be with Roy, then she shouldn't be with Roy.
Yeah.
To me, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. So, basically, Katie, the saleswoman, sets up her purses or handbags, or whatever you want to call them, in the conference room, and various people go in during the day to buy some
handbags.
Yeah. And so this isn't really relevant to the show, but it kind of is. Like, people like this exist in real life who go to stuff and like try to sell handbags, but like, I'm confused why someone would let them in the office and sell stuff. Like, I don't know.
In the middle of like, the workspace.
Yeah, like, personally, you can just, like, if you want a handbag, you can go to the store or order one online, so, it doesn't really make sense why you would put, like...
Go in the middle of a workspace.
Yeah, it doesn't seem profitable to me.
No.
Unless that's just, like, one part of your business, and you have, like, a store and an online store. Yeah. And so Michael is trying to, like, impress her and stuff, and it's not going well. He talks about, like, coffee and Starbucks and... So, the one subplot in this episode is that there's a prize for whoever has the most sales out of the salesmen, and it is a espresso machine, which Michael uses to impress Katie. So... it's not it's not going good for Michael, and Stanley gets mad at him because he definitely wants that espresso machine. Anyways, Michael and Katie kind of have a small argument where Michael's like, you need the Starbucks best coffee, which there's better coffee than Starbucks, because Starbucks is basically a fast food store, so...
That very controversial subject.
So Michael goes to get Katie a coffee, and he thinks that's like a big move in their relationship, which they don't even have a relationship.
Not at all.
Yeah.
she's like, oh yeah, this is big great time.
Yeah. So, Dwight is saying everything he likes about. Wait, sorry. Never mind. Dwight is trying to buy a purse.
Yeah.
It's not going great for him. So Dwight also wants to get in. Dwight also wants to be with Katie.
Yeah.
Jim, Dwight, and Michael do. Jim ends up doing it because he's the sane one of the three. Yeah. Yeah. But basically, Michael is obsessed with this coffee thing and Katie, and basically, yeah, he's introducing her to a bunch of other people and trying to impress her, and it's not really working.
He's showing her a tour.
Yeah, a question is, do you think Michael should have let her come in and sell things to the office?
I'd say, well, I don't really know what to say, because if she's going to be, like, distracting everybody, then no.
Yeah, but so once he does that, he's not even, like, letting her work. He's trying to, like, impress her and stuff.
Like, if the person who's trying to sell them was making, like, a big deal, be like, hey, everybody, come over here, and, like, screaming and stuff, then no. But if they're just, like, there and not saying anything, then I'd let them in.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. Yeah, and so
I like how Michael introduces Katie to, what's his name? To Toby.
Toby, yeah.
And he introduces her to Toby, and he's like, yeah, this is Toby. He's been divorced, like, several times.
Yeah, he tries to make her...
he's just awful.
He tries to make her not like Toby.
Yeah.
And she like, kind of gets sad for him, though.
Yeah.
And
he's like, this is Toby, and he's just awful.
Yeah.
And he's, like, saying all these mean things.
And Roy, there's a lot of signs in these episodes that he's not a great person and not a great fiance to Pam. And basically he says that he would date Katie if he wasn't dating Pam, and then Pam's like, we're not dating, we're engaged. Yeah, and so it's not good, and Pam is clearly upset with him, and I think Pam
doesn't take the hint.
I think Pam is definitely justified to be upset.
Yeah. I'd say Pam. I'm not really sure if Pam wants to be with Roy.
Yeah, I think she would be happier with, like, Jim. Yeah. Like, we see she's kind of jealous later in the episode. Yeah. And Roy, like, doesn't pick up on anything.
He doesn't treat her
we
good.
see they're both jealous.
Yeah.
For each other. Which, if you're both jealous for each other, that's a sign that you probably should... If you're both jealous that you're in a that the other if one person's in a relationship and someone else is jealous that they're in a relationship, but the person in the relationship is jealous that the other person is in the relationship, I feel like those two people should be in a relationship.
Yeah.
So, to put it simple that way.
Very simple.
Yeah,
but I feel like Pam doesn't want to be with Roy and she just doesn't realize it yet.
Yeah, I definitely would agree.
Like, he'll just say things without realizing it.
Yeah. In my opinion, Roy's just not a very good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, Jim pranks Dwight to try to, like, buy a purse and try to impress Katie. And he's like, yes, I'll talk about the origins of my last name. And,
she'll want to know that.
Yeah, and Jim's like, yeah, it's all gold.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so... In my opinion, this episode has a lot less funny moments than most, but it's more of a, like, character...
development.
Yeah, development episode, which are definitely important. Definitely important. That's what's really good about this show. Like, I think one of the things that made it run 9 years is that...
It has a lot of character development, and it's funny.
Yeah, like, there's episodes where you'd be laughing the whole time, but, like... a lot of people, there are episodes where they'll cry too. So, yeah. kind of unique though, because you can only do that after you have a bunch of seasons, because people get attached to the characters. So yeah. Moving on to Jim pranking Dwight. Dwight's trying to buy a purse, and he buys like the it has like sparkles and stuff on it, and it's pretty funny.
He buys like the most durable one.
Yeah,
and then he walks out and
Yeah.
looks at Jim and he gives him like a thumbs up, and
Yeah.
Jim's like, "Yes, nice job."
Yeah. Pam buys a purse as well. Yeah, and yeah,
Michael
it's
comes
not that interesting until Michael comes in and gives Katie's. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but he says, "How's that coffee? Bring up the coffee again." He only talks about the coffee when he's trying to impress Katie.
He can tell that she really, really wants the coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. Which she doesn't really want the coffee that much.
She doesn't care. She just wants to sell her handbags.
Yeah, and
Take the hint.
This is when she shows off the when Michael shows off the espresso machine.
Yeah.
And so that's what happens. Michael is jealous. Not really. Well, he kind of is, but not really. Michael.
I feel like he's jealous at the end of the episode when Jim.
He's jealous of Jim at the end.
Yeah.
I would definitely think. But yeah, so this episode, like we said earlier, it's not as funny as the others, so there's not as much to talk about. But
yeah,
it's still really good. It's still definitely really good. So the espresso is it's to be given to the top salesman.
Yeah.
So question is, do you think Michael should have used it?
Like to give it to the top salesman?
No, for Katie.
No.
Yeah, he
Not
definitely
at all.
shouldn't have opened it at all.
He like basically promised it to the person
Yeah.
who sold the most.
Yeah,
and
Stanley gets mad at that, and a lot of people do. So
because he like promised it, and then he just gives it to somebody that he has a crush on.
yeah, and I think at the beginning of the episode we didn't talk about this, but Jan said that would would have a certain amount of money to buy a prize for top salesman of the month, and he chose this espresso machine, which I think is a pretty good choice. But then he
gives it away.
Yeah, so Dwight asked permission to ask out Katie. Don't know why he asked permission.
Yeah.
Like, Dwight sees Michael as like his dad or something.
He's like his boss of everything that he does.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because he really shouldn't see him like that. But he does.
Every action that he does, he has to ask Michael first.
Yeah, and then Michael says, "Well, I'm going to be giving her a ride home, and it might be more. It might be a ride home and dinner."
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Dwight gets like,
he's like, "Please,
yeah,
let me ask her out."
Yeah, and then
he's like, "I'm just saying, might be more."
So they both ask her out, right?
Yeah.
She's like, so Dwight asks more, like actually asking her out. Michael's just like, "Hey, can I give you a ride home?"
Yeah.
And then she's like, "No, please get away from me."
I have my own car.
Yeah. And then Michael kind of does the ride home thing. But then Jim offers to give her a ride home, and then they like go get a drink as well. So.
And Stanley now sees that he opened it.
Yeah. Stanley gets mad, as we've been saying
mad.
when Michael used the espresso machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this episode, if I'm being honest. Like,
Yeah.
there's not really that much going on besides this. So it's one of the... It's definitely an interesting episode, but I would say it's one of the less interesting episodes.
Yeah. Of the season.
we haven't done this before, but maybe we'll start doing it. If I were to rate this episode, I would give it a 4 out of 10.
I'd give it, I'd say, I'm gonna go out of 5. I'd say 2.5.
Mine would be a 2 out of 5 then, if I divide it. So Grant, what did you find most funny? What made you laugh the most in this episode?
I can't really say what made me laugh the most. But I guess I could say probably when Dwight asks Michael if he can ask permission. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's super funny.
I'm gonna give her a ride home, and it's gonna be more than it could lead to dinner.
Yeah.
And drinks, and well, and he's like, Michael, please.
Yeah.
Please. What was your?
Mine would when Dwight asks when Dwight tries to buy a purse. He talks about it, and but it might be when Dwight asks out Katie as well, because that's super funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for this episode, and that's pretty much it for this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
So we have now officially finished season 1 in our second episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was Bears Beets Podcasts, a podcast all about The Office.